NIO has been a force this year, and if you were an early investor in the company, you have definitely been reaping the rewards. Few companies highlight just how important and beneficial it can be to heavily invest in a company you believe in before the broader hype is present. To put this into perspective, if you had bought 1,000 shares on March 23rd when pricing was at $2.15, that would have cost you $2,150. That would now be worth over $19,000 just less than 6 months later when shares are now hovering around $19. NIO is up over 1,300% just since October last year. This really has been one of those astronomical gainers, but how high can NIO shares get to? I'm going to dedicate this video to the bull outlook on NIO and everything right and forward thinking they are doing as a company, what I absolutely love about NIO, and the moves they are making to better position themselves for success in the short, medium, and long-term future. And oh, I know, you might be saying to yourself, well Nick, this is skewing potential investors. It's not smart to look at only one side of the story. I'll be the first to say that going through life with horse blinders on, ignoring the negatives, and only focusing on the positives is essentially distorting reality and could be potentially catastrophic. So in the coming days, I will be releasing a follow-up video to this, highlighting and analyzing NIO's bear outlook, some concerns I have with the company, and all of the things I think they can improve on in the coming quarters and years. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. I do a ton of videos like this, giving my subscribers the upper edge, keeping you all informed and up to date so you are more apt to come to your own conclusions and formulate your own decisions on the stock market. While you're down there clicking things, smash that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Really helps with the old YouTube algorithm and it helps out the video. I don't currently have a lens for my nice camera and I don't want to film on the cell phone, but I do have one on the way, so you'll be able to catch my ugly mug in the coming days. Alright, without further ado, let's get right into it. So NIO's bull outlook revolves around a few key elements. I'll first start on the macro scale and we'll work our way down all the way to the micro scale. We'll be discussing the automobile market recovery amidst the current health situation, the expansion programs NIO has laid out, the battery swapping infrastructure and its technology, consumer interest, the current share price, and the overall bull outlook. Alright, so beginning on a macro scale. Set aside whether NIO has cars or trucks or whether they have the greatest batteries in the world or the battery swapping tech. Put all that aside for a minute. What's the most important thing a company relies on when selling cars? Well, without a functioning economy, without people working and making money, buying things, all of this stops. This is what happened during the health situation beginning in December in Asia and Europe. Everything came to a halt and people weren't monetarily able to spend capital. Discretionary spending went out the window and NIO delivery numbers and thus its stock took a major hit. Shares fell to about $2.40 in March this year when NIO released terrible delivery numbers month after month. Man, I wish I had bought more shares at this point. NIO only delivered an absolutely dismal 707 vehicles in February 2020. That is a stage 5 fire alarm number. That is nowhere near sustainable. However, as the economy began recovering, people began working again, we saw a massive turnaround to where just 6 months later, NIO delivered just under 4,000 vehicles in the month of August, 3,965 to be exact. We are seeing an unbelievable market recovery in the world's largest auto market. China had previously been in a 2-year slump preceding 2020. However, it may be emerging from this and things are definitely looking on the bright side. Auto sales increased 8.5% in July year over year, with approximately 1.67 million units being sold. We are seeing the recovery begin and accelerate, and NIO will surely benefit from this recovery. This will bode well for NIO in the coming months, and I would not be surprised to see their delivery numbers in September in the mid to high 4,000s. More people are choosing to go electric, and we see a mass shift in the way people fundamentally think about the environment, their carbon footprint, and people are seeing the tangible effects of pollution and smog overload, especially in China. So now that we have buyers, are these buyers being swayed to potentially spend a little extra and go green buying an electric vehicle? In short, the answer is yes. China is the dominant player when it comes to electric vehicle sales worldwide. However, we saw a slowing growth of EV sales in 2019 in China. Amidst this, we see a vast increase in Europe, the US, and the rest of the world. This may have been due to some restrictions and decreasing subsidy programs that China has implemented, yet has now extended with some conditions. China sold 1.2 million EV units in 2019, which was up 3%. However, we are beginning to see a surge in Europe as they increase their EV sales by 44%. I'll touch more on this later and why NIO is harnessing this. The Chinese government cut subsidy programs for vehicles that have ranges less than 200 kilometers and reduced programs by 2/3 for ranges above 400 kilometers. China has now extended subsidy programs for non-luxury new electric vehicles or NEVs until the end of 2022. Non-luxury is defined as a vehicle costing less than $42,000 USD. Now, this would exclude NIO models above this price point. However, the Chinese government has added a caveat. This caveat is where vehicles with removable batteries will receive the subsidy program regardless of price. This will boast extremely well for NIO, as many of its competitors, such as Tesla, do not have removable batteries and therefore won't be applicable to the subsidy program. This should help NIO gain lots of Tesla's market share. Because NIO fits within the subsidy program, buyers will be able to receive $3,500 off the purchasing price and will be exempt from the 10% purchasing tax. Buyers of NIO can now receive a brand new, completely electric, state-of-the-art vehicle for $49,000 USD, but it can actually go much lower than this, and that brings me to my next point, battery swapping technology. Battery swapping technology really is, in my opinion, the dark horse in this ballgame. It is, in my opinion, what is going to make NIO an actual competitor against Tesla in the coming years. NIO very early on realized that they needed to set themselves apart from the pack, and they did this through battery swapping technology. They have built 143 swapping stations thus far across mainland China in 64 cities. These swap stations are completely automated drive-in centers where a robot in under 3 minutes changes your old, used battery for a fully charged one. Consumers are able to upgrade, downgrade, lease, or buy their batteries in what NIO is terming battery as a service. This enables the consumer full transparency into their purchase and offers a much lower barrier to entry point. Because consumers can lease, they are essentially sidestepping being forced to buy the most expensive pound-for-pound portion of the vehicle, the battery, along with the actual shell of the vehicle. Because of this, consumers who would be forced to buy the base EC6 model at $49,000 USD now have the option of leasing the battery and purchasing the vehicle for $14,000 USD cheaper after subsidy programs and battery as a service. Yes, you heard me right. Consumers can walk away with a brand new electric luxury vehicle for $35,000 USD. This really outmatches Tesla's similar Model Y, which is approximately $69,000 USD. Nice. As it doesn't apply for either subsidy program and consumers are not able to remove the battery. This renting capacity for NIO will also play an ever-increasing role in the revenue generating in the coming quarters and years. Now, going back to the previous point I made about Europe and the US seeing a vast increase year-over-year growth in their EV delivery numbers. NIO is well aware that to really be a competitor to Tesla, they need to move onto the global stage. NIO currently has plans to move into Europe by the second half of 2021. Li Bin, the founder and CEO of NIO, has gone on record stating that he sees NIO in the most important global markets by either 2023 or 2024 in an accelerated expansion plan. I personally would not be surprised to see NIO in North America by the end of 2022. There is huge consumer interest in both these continents, and with the subsidy program still roaring, a huge share of the market could be snagged up by NIO before the EV competition is even more fierce than it already is. Jumping to NIO's share price, they have seen a nice run up in the couple months and are currently hovering around the $18-19 share price. Given the extreme optimism bull outlooks see in this company, some setting price targets into the triple digits, I am considering purchasing more shares on dip days. My previous investing strategy was, if and when NIO comes back down to its previous support line around $12 USD, to purchase a bulk amount of shares. However, I no longer think we'll see these days again unless NIO releases a horrible September delivery month. There are a lot of things this company is doing exceptionally well. Their battery as a service, their expansion into hot markets, lowering the barrier to entry, securing capital funding, and not to mention, they are releasing their smallest, sleekest SUV coupe, the EC6, later on this year. They are also repurchasing the company back from NIO China, gaining an additional stake in the company through a series of tranches. I go into detail about this and their EC6 in my previous videos, so check them out if you haven't yet. I personally would not be surprised to see this stock absolutely surge in the coming months and years, depending on delivery numbers. I am so excited for this company. I've been following them through thick and thin, and now is definitely a fantastic time to be within the NIO camp. In the coming days, I will release my NIO Bear Outlook video, highlighting some struggles and obstacles the company faces and where I see room for improvement, so you as an investor are able to gain both sides of the story before coming to your own conclusion. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, I'd really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Honestly, it really does mean a lot to me. Cheers.